Halloween Eve. Wait. Halloween Eve.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because tomorrow's Halloween. So we got a threefer, guys. 3 topics today.
For the 3 boxes on the screen.
Having to do with this weekend. Yes.
How long is this going to take?
We want to know, besides trick-or-treating or handing out candy this year, because it's, really not recommended at all because of COVID, of course. What are you guys going to be doing for Halloween? Number 2, what's your scariest movie you've ever seen? And number 3, because Saturday night into Sunday morning, we're going to fall back an hour. You can sleep in 1 hour. Daylight saving time is ending. What are your thoughts on that?
There's a lot going on this week.
Weigh in
That's my
with
first
us,
thought.
folks.
It's like there's a lot going on, and at the same time, maybe nothing will be going on because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But you've got the full moon tomorrow on Halloween, which will be a pretty
Very
nice.
rare.
It kind of stinks. It stinks, Rod, I tell you.
Why?
It stinks.
Because it's just a sucky time.
Well,
you know?
listen,
It's a
Rod's
sucky
dialing
year.
up a perfect trick-or-treating
Right.
forecast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right tomorrow's going to be like ideal
Yeah.
trick-or-treating weather.
Yeah.
And we're telling everyone, don't trick-or-treat.
Yeah, people are complaining about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? But like I said, I forgot I was supposed to make it rainy and crappy tomorrow. My bad.
The messaging would be a lot easier if there was a downpour outside. Don't trick-or-treat, and it's pouring outside. And then, again, thirdly, the clocks are being set back tomorrow night into Sunday morning. And Brenda, who skipped out of here a little early today because she deserved it, she was going to screw this whole thing up because at like 4:59 this morning, a minute before our TV show started, she said, man, I am not going to look forward to losing an hour of sleep this weekend. I said, Brenda, you're getting an hour.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, what? I said, you're falling back. You spring forward and you fall back. She's like, oh, I'm getting an hour of sleep. And then
Do you remember, Drew? That was like our last, it was on my Instagram account, the last picture we took as a threesome, you, me, and Brenda, like standing next to each other, shoulder to shoulder, was when daylight saving time ended.
Oh, wow.
In the spring, and we were like exhausted from losing an hour.
That was, because we do that in March.
Daylight saving time began in the spring.
Yes.
Oh yeah, whatever.
In the summer, we're in daylight saving time. In the winter, we're in
ending
standard
tomorrow.
time.
Okay, you guys, this is how the show works. If you're brand new to Sunrise Extra, we show you creepy live shots outside. Nah, just kidding.
That's pretty cool.
Watch you and interact with you live. This is totally unscripted. We just have a lot of fun. Sometimes we talk about news, serious stuff. Today, we're talking about fun on a Friday.
Yeah.
We're watching you on Facebook Live. I've got you guys pulled up here on YouTube. And I've got some comments. Do you want to start with a few as we get kind of people's thoughts rolling?
Yeah.
So we posted these 3 topics on our Facebook page. I'm very excited to be using the touchscreen, by the way, again. Angela.
Wipe it down afterwards, please. Wipe it down.
I will. So she says, having to do with Halloween, her daughter has a family birthday party. So they're going to have a bowl of candy for those people out.
Okay.
Her scariest movie, Poltergeist.
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
It's just a good movie, period.
Thoughts on the clock turning back? Leave the clock alone. I increase vitamin D in the winter. Barry says they don't know what they're doing yet for Halloween. Scariest movie, Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes is the scariest
That's what
movie?
he says.
Really?
Daylight savings time. Move the time change back to April and October, how it was before the 2006 bill change. Interesting. Annie's going to be sitting at home waiting for any kids that might come to trick or treat. She says The Exorcist is her scariest.
Oh, yeah.
And daylight saving time is completely unnecessary. I agree.
Oh,
Evan
wow. Ooh, okay.
is going to watch all the Halloween episodes of her favorite sitcoms. Another vote for The Exorcist. Nobody likes daylight saving time. I like that.
Well, now hold on, Nina, because remember when we talked about it earlier, the bill for the change would actually keep us on daylight saving time and do away with standard time.
Yes,
So
you can read all about that on our KGW.com.
But that's the opposite of what...
It sounds like people want this, but what we're really offering them, if it goes through, is that.
Yeah, keep in mind for standard time, summers would be significantly shorter, and it would be actually getting daylight as early as shortly after 4 o'clock in June. Instead of being light at 8:30 in June, it would be bright and sunny shortly after 4 a.m. That's standard time. Daylight saving time is what we currently do during the summer.
No, that is absolutely true, and I don't think people realize that and don't think that way, because who needs daylight at 4:05 a.m.? But we definitely love that daylight that we get at like 9:30 p.m. right in the heart of summer,
And
right?
keep in mind on standard time, by August 10th, it would already be dark it would be getting dark shortly after 7 o'clock.
I know for
August
years,
would be
Rod,
much darker as a month in standard time than what we currently have.
you've been a proponent of keeping things the way they are for years. I mean, you've talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it the way it is because I also don't like it being dark. If we kept daylight saving time in the winter, then there's that period in December, it would just be getting light around 8:30 or so in the morning. Well,
Right.
I'm not a fan of that either.
No.
But if I had to go one way or the other, I would stick with staying with daylight saving time because I like my long summers. I don't want August all of a sudden be getting dark. By the end of August, it would be dark at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
That to me sounds horrible.
No, that's, I agree. No, that's not the way we like
So
it.
that's my feelings. But you know, however it turns out, you got to respect what everybody decides.
So we've got this collage of topics, if you will, this morning. In addition to daylight saving, no S, daylight saving time, we're also talking Halloween. Two things. What are you doing tomorrow to celebrate the holiday?
What are you guys doing, Drew?
So I was afraid you'd ask that because I don't really know. I'll tell you tonight, my boys are going to a zombie paintball event.
Ooh.
Which, if I understand it correctly, you basically are armed with a paintball gun and you go through this sort of a tour that is littered with the zombies, and you are able to shoot the zombies and rid the planet of the zombies with your paint gun.
That sounds like a perfect, what, 12-year-old, 13?
13 now. The best
13-year-old
part, their
thing.
13-year-old birthday party last month was at a paintball place. So yeah, they're all about this. And the best part about this, Nina and Rod, a friend's parent is taking them. So they're going.
So you got a night off.
And we're not
And you
involved.
don't even have to pay for
Just
somebody.
you and the
You don't
missus?
have to babysit anymore.
Friday night, kidless.
What are you going to do? The possibilities are endless. You better not fall asleep on the couch.
I'm starting with happy hour at 4 p.m. and I don't know where the night's going to go from there.
That's like our dinner time, you guys. All three of us, you know? It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Halloween night plans, like specific plans for tomorrow night?
Yes, we're going to, my one is 3 and she still naps. So right after nap, we're getting in the witchy costume and we're going to go over to my mom's house and do like a candy scavenger hunt in the yard when it's light out because she's little still. Dark kind of scares her. Then we're going to have some, dinner, and my mom has a bunch of Halloween decorations to kind of show her, and then, get out of there about 8:30 and put the kiddo to bed. So then I'll probably be falling asleep too.
Wow.
So I don't know. She's only 3, so I can, fake it that she may not notice that there's not trick or treating this year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, my favorite day of the year when our kids were that age, like 3, maybe not 3, but certainly by 4, 5, 6, 7, Christmas Eve. There was absolutely no problem getting them to go to bed. Like they were all about going to bed on Christmas Eve so they could wake up Christmas morning. And I remember like literally on Christmas Eve, they would be, and it's dark, right? Like we just talked about, it's dark early on Christmas Eve. So they'd be in bed, basically asleep by like 5:30 p.m. on Christmas Eve for about 3 years in a row. It was freaking awesome.
Did you have the whole evening to relax, or were you guys wrapping presents?
We
still
relaxed
then?
for about 30 minutes, and then I was like, all right, let's get to wrapping.
You got to pull everything out of the hiding spots too. What
How
are
do
you guys
wrap
doing,
a slide?
Rod?
I don't know how to wrap a plastic slide.
My wife and daughter have been out of town. They're back today, and they're home all weekend. And we don't have any plans as far as I know. My wife will probably be busy tomorrow cleaning up all the messes I left around the house.
When Rod says we don't have any plans as far as I know, that means there are 3 things going on that he'll find out about tomorrow morning.
That's probably true.
Director Brian, why is Rod so much smaller than us in the screen?
Is that another short joke?
Oh, he doesn't have
you
control
know
of
what
the
it is?
camera. You got to get closer.
Yeah, he doesn't have this.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on my tippy toes.
I thought it was just a
He can control our cameras, Brian.
slight
can.
of some
Oh,
sort.
see,
Yeah.
he's controlling
There
our
we go.
camera right
Oh,
now. Halloween.
Hey, can I just say, I'm reading through all of our viewer comments. Silence of the Lambs comes up, scariest movies.
I just spotted my scariest. On
And
here.
I don't have a scariest movie, but I have a favorite title. I just love the title, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just love the title.
I saw that.
I've seen them both now. The 1972-ish original, which is still scary today. I mean, it is pretty gruesome.
Is it gory?
Gory, yes.
Oh, I
there
don't
are a
like
couple of scenes in there that are absolutely filthy.
Jennifer Taft, filthy. That's a good descriptor.
Filthy.
Jennifer Taft's got my scariest movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. She said she got in big trouble when she was 12 for renting it and letting my stepsisters watch. They were 8 and 10. I was an evil kid. This Halloween sucks. Sorry. Jennifer, that is how I saw. I was the poor young kid who was forced by their cousin to watch Nightmare on Elm Street
Wow.
on the lower level while all the parents were upstairs and had no idea. And I had like nightmares for days afterwards. I still, ugh.
I see back-to-back movies on the stream here that our kids have watched now. Jennifer mentioning Nightmare on Elm Street. We just watched that 2 weekends ago with the boys.
What, you watched it with the boys?
Oh yeah.
What did they say?
Pretty tame in their eyes. Pretty tame. I mean,
Cheesy?
they were you know, sitting close to us. I'll say that, but they were. They watched
Like
the whole
the
thing.
little heads that come out.
Yeah, no,
and
they
like,
watched the whole thing without a single eye cover, without a single turn, and they went to bed that night.
Just
A-okay.
Yeah.
But I do remember, this next comment reminds me of this. Willie Huey says Cujo is still the scariest movie he's ever seen.
Huh.
He says he saw it when he was about 8, which, by the way, Willie, I saw the movie too in the theater. My mother took me to the theater to see Cujo when I was about 8 or 9. That one we can look up for sure because we can see the year the movie came out.
Yeah.
And he says that he still worries daily about choking on his own tongue. There's a scene in that movie where the young boy is like, you know, he's been trapped in the car now for days and they're getting dehydrated and
Gross.
there's like a tongue choking incident. But we let our boys watch that movie. It was Mia's idea. Let them watch that movie when they were probably, I'm going to say 7. No older than 7. I don't know why she thought that was a good idea. They were all on board with the idea. And they were definitely scared. And when we also, sometimes when you watch a scary movie, you forget about the sexual parts of these rated R
it
scary
always
movies.
comes up with you guys.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, I didn't know. I forgot. Like, who cares about the storyline where the woman was sleeping with the neighbor? I certainly didn't remember that part, but there it was. And it was like, psh, fast forward.
What are we listening to?
What is that? I feel like it's coming from your side of the room. Nina's way over there,
Director Brian,
socially
is there
distanced.
something playing there?
Wow.
Anyway, if we want to pull up the touchscreen, I loaded some of the scariest movies out there to help jog our memory.
Yes.
A lot of people said Exorcist
Yeah.
was the #1. We also had a lot of people this morning saying The Shining. Blair Witch Project, I remember very well. That was pretty scary. Let's see, Psycho. Yeah, that was on there. Let's see, all the Halloween series. There's Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream. I remember that was kind of scary. Oh, I know what's happening. It's this. I'll just click it off.
Bobby Foster says The Birds. That's an old Hitchcock movie,
The
right?
Birds.
That's a classic, right?
Yeah.
I still like watching The Birds. It's a long movie, by the way. Like, it's very long, The Birds is, especially for such an older movie.
I don't like gory. I like jump scares. I like suspense. I will never watch things like Saw. That's like messed up to me.
I can.
Parasite. Did you guys see Parasite?
No, is that where they connect human beings to each other?
No,
that was
this
That's that
one
new
won like the
South Korean directed movie
yes,
that
SAG Awards
won the Academy
and-
Award. Yeah.
Yeah, Academy Awards.
My wife just watched that a couple weeks ago for the first time. She said I wouldn't like it, so I'm not watching it.
You should watch it. It's not. It's very interesting. And
No, my wife knows
funny
me.
in
She
parts.
says I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it.
Okay.
I feel like so many people are chiming in right now live on the Sunrise Extra Facebook stream. I can quickly shout out a few names of
Okay.
their favorite scary movies, and I start with Jeff Lucas. What's up, Jeff?
Jeff.
Our boy Jeff. He says Exorcist, hands down. Robin, right after that, goes with Blair Witch Project. She also says hands down. Then we have Tammy Hillebrand Burkhart. What's up, Tammy? Thank you for continually watching Sunrise Extra.
Yes.
She mentions one that I don't know if a lot of people know this one, but I loved it. It's called The Hitcher.
The
The Hitcher, and it was remade more recently.
Jeepers Creepers?
No, just called The Hitcher.
Oh.
And the original one had C. Thomas Howell as the lead actor, a young C. Thomas Howell, who many people remember from The Outsiders. Anyways, it's a great, scary movie. There's like 3 actors in the movie. There's like C. Thomas Howell, the hitchhiker he picks up, some random dude in the middle of the movie. But it's really about the hitchhiker and the young man who picks him up and regrets that
Isn't that
decision.
like everyone's thing about, I mean, you rarely see hitchhikers anymore, but
Right.
be like, yeah, I'm picking you up, you're going to kill me, of course.
You know, my dad
Not.
picked up a hitchhiker.
What?
Like my biological father.
Serious questions.
While I was
to your
in the
parents.
car. I remember that clear as day. And I
And your
remember
mom
going.
gave you to a
I went home and told my mom, like,
driver.
Dad picked up a hitchhiker. And she got all mad. That led to an argument, as you can imagine. Like, why the heck would you let a hitchhiker in the car with our son? Anyways, weird life I led back then.
be an interesting car conversation, though.
Continuing on real quickly, Renee Robertson, big fan of Renee's. She's a big fan of ours, and she says Carrie. John
Oh, yeah.
Travolta was in that, by the way.
Harry, okay.
That was a good one.
Love Carrie. Stan says The Exorcist, and then he says Jason, which I think is a reference to the Friday the 13th.
Those are
movie.
ones I can watch because like nothing really ever happens. It's just a lot of suspense, you know, and like the slow moving music and all that kind of stuff.
There's a
I
lot of
can
sex in
handle
those
that.
too, those, if you recall. Like I can't watch
I
those
mean,
yet with our
like
boys. 'Cause-
very tame
No,
80s.
I think there's brief nudity.
Why is everyone so afraid of
BN.
sex versus like murder gore?
When you're watching scary movies with your sons,
What
your
does
wife and
SEX
yourself,
spell?
it's uncomfortable to see a naked breast on the screen. It is. It just is. I'm sorry. It is for me. Maybe I'm supposed to be above that, but I don't know. It's uncomfortable to watch that
Yeah, I think
part
that's like an
with
American
your,
thing.
You're uncomfortable with.
Or
okay,
thank you, Brian Matthews, our director,
Director
chiming in
Brian.
when you're watching it with your 15-year-old
Oh,
daughter.
totally. I mean, you remember that with your own parents, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I do.
So sorry. Find that uncomfortable.
My husband just texted me, where are we keeping all the training underwear? So as I respond to that,
Wait a minute.
potty training
Wait,
at
can you give
home.
us the full text exchange on that
Really?
one? Or at least some of the other good
It's
parts?
just the first text this morning. Let him know. I'll get back to you in 1 second.
Is your husband, Nina,
Yeah.
equally involved, and he must be because you're here a good part of the day, is your husband equally involved in this potty training situation that's happening at your
Well,
house right
he's
now?
home with her right now, so he better be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the
yes.
training underwear for your child. I'm thinking, what's your husband need training underwear for? That's what I was thinking.
Well, he's
We've
got
been
a
having some
situation.
personal problems. Oh, no, we're potty training finally the 3-year-old.
All right, yes, that makes sense.
Sorry.
Sorry. All right.
You mentioned Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
Katie
That was a good one.
Katie Abigail Bassett also mentions Jeepers Creepers. She says she saw that when she was a preteen, was terrified by the movie, hated it, she says, in bold letters.
Yeah.
Katie getting bold this morning. She says, I couldn't stand trucks driving behind me for ages.
Right? Yes, and the headlights and stuff.
Yep.
There were a set of books that I still have that are called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And I think, did Netflix somebody made a series on that. That were and there was like a headlight story, and the story was this girl, somebody was driving the car and some killer was hiding in the back seat, and every time he came up with the knife, the truck was actually a good Samaritan and would put on his brights and like start honking, but she didn't know that the person was in the back seat, and so she thought the car
Got
was,
it.
Oh.
Yep.
It still scares me to that.
Wow, all right.
That was, I can't remember like the specific movies where this came up, but yes, those scenes where someone gets into their car and they think that they're alone and they start to drive, and then that killer comes from behind the back seat.
Yeah.
Like that leaves an impression.
That's why, I mean, even in our like secured parking lots here at
Yes.
work, I always lock my car.
Yes.
Just for, like, literally for that reason of like, I don't want there to be some weirdo who slipped
Jumping
in there
in
and
your
has been
car.
hiding in.
Do you ever check the back seat to see if you're really alone or no? Because I don't do that.
I don't do that.
No.
No.
I don't
Okay.
do that. Hey, Anna says arachnophobia.
Oh,
She said
that was a good one.
her little sister still talks about Anna making her watch it when she was babysitting. Her little sister was 5 at the time.
Oh, I'm with you on that. That was good.
I just like saying it. Arachnophobia.
How about this one? Nicole Lane, thank you for this because she mentions 2 movies I've never heard of, therefore I've never seen, but they're more recent. A Silent Place from 2 years ago, she says, in 2018, and then one simply called The Silence from 2019.
The silence.
One of
Silence.
those is, aren't they a real married couple in real life? John Krasinski and what's her face?
Oh.
And
wasn't he the
like there's
Unabomber?
aliens or some kind of thing where you literally, like, if you make any sound, they'll come and find you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't.
Director Brian's like, yeah, she stepped on a nail. That was very like suspenseful and good. I remember that one.
Wow, okay.
You know, I didn't think The Sixth Sense was scary, although there were a couple of parts that were a little bit like
Yeah.
uncomfortable, for
It's
sure.
just
And
kind of eerie and
we watched that with our boys, and they were definitely.
They like it?
Yeah, they loved it, but they were like kind of uncomfortable during like that scene where he's like in the tent with
Another
that
sex
ghost,
scene?
and like, no, there's no sex in Sixth Sense, none, not even a reference to.
sex in
Everyone has their
Sixth
clothes on to the fullest.
Oh,
they're buttoned
thank
up.
God.
They got like 3 layers on, but I just loved The Sixth Sense as a movie. Period. Just like the way it was just put together, thrown at you.
It was genius. I
Yeah.
mean, that was like M. Night Shyamalan, you know? Everyone was talking about that.
Yeah, he came onto the scene with that movie,
Yeah.
and I have been disappointed really
Ever
by
since,
every
right?
movie since.
Totally, I think everybody else has. I just saw one that I was going to shout out and agree with. Somebody said Jurassic Park. Katie, where are you, Katie? Jurassic Park. I saw Jurassic Park in the theater. Maybe I was 12. I don't remember what year it came out. Full hives, head to toe.
Really?
Broke out in hives. Had to go to the ER.
From Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Because of the fear?
This chase scenes,
I
guess,
guess.
was scary, right? When Newman, what's Newman?
Yeah.
Newman on Seinfeld. What's his name? The actor.
Nobody knows.
Wait a minute. This is a good trivia question.
In the first one, you know, when he's trying to get out of the island
from
and
the
then
velociraptor.
it's chase. I mean, I can see where that's scary if you're little. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Someone's going to chime in. I don't want to look it up. I thought I would be able to pull that out of my head. The actor who plays Newman. Someone's going to nail that for us right here.
Who was in Jurassic Park? Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. No, I thought that was great. And I will say I'm kind of proud of our sons because they have always been able to handle these scarier movies.
Just not the
I remember when they were probably 10, they had a birthday sleepover and they wanted to watch Jurassic Park. Like that was like the pick that night for the movie. And there were at least 3 kids that came over that night. We could not watch that movie because they refused to watch it.
Yeah.
They were so scared of it still.
Now, I remember, so Nicole Lane mentions Jaws. I think someone else said Jaws too. Now, I remember seeing Jaws in the theater in the 1970s, and I remember every time that music started that I would jump into my seat a little bit. I would have been around, I don't know, 10 or 11 probably when that movie came out, Jaws.
7. Yeah. Do you guys remember seeing 7?
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
Saw that.
It's fantastic.
The head in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gluttony.
Who was the female lead in that? Famous actress.
Gwyneth.
Yes, Gwyneth Paltrow. That is. Have you ever seen 7, Rod?
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah.
I mean, pretty good movie.
Time. One time, long time.
Scary
Yeah.
and gross too.
Did you like it or not like it, Nina? I can't tell.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Joshua Madrid, our bartending friend, says Event Horizon was certainly creepy. I don't remember Event Horizon, but then he mentions another Stephen King classic, Pet Sematary.
Oh yeah, Pet Sematary.
Another one my wife decided to show our kids at too young of an age. There's a scene in Pet Sematary that is still disturbing to me, and it's not necessarily like a traditional scary scene, but when that little boy enters the road and gets drilled by the tractor trailer coming down the road, I remember seeing that in the theater. I saw it years later as an adult watching it at home. It is so uncomfortable to watch that scene. It's actually like gut-wrenching.
I'm more of a Westerns fan, actually. If it's between a scary movie and watching a Western, I'll watch a Western.
Misery. Marilyn Dietz says Misery.
Oh, Misery.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
That was with Kathy Bates and James Caan, shot up at Lake Tahoe. Yeah.
So Jeff Lucas wins the prize. He came through and told us that Wayne Knight is the actor that plays Newman. So we knew
bravo.
that.
Wayne Knight.
We all knew that. We just couldn't remember. Wayne Knight.
I don't think I've ever heard his name. No, I did not know that. Wayne Knight. Okay, all right.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I'm Wayne Knight. I'm here to play Newman.
Better. Newman. Do it, Drew.
I don't do a great Jerry, but Newman. Newman. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, if you guys are looking for some things to do this weekend, if you're not comfortable, you're not supposed to trick or treat, we have 8 great things to do on our website right now, kgw.com. There's a drive-through event in Vancouver. There's a Gresham candy station situation. There's links to a bunch of pumpkin patches. They're doing, and I thought this was a typo at first, but at Lloyd Center, they obviously have the ice skating rink, but they're not doing that. They're doing roller skating in the parking garage. So there's a whole roller skating costume event you can do, socially distant. You can head up to Columbia County and go to Halloween Town. So that's right on kgw.com if you're looking for some ideas for fun things to do this weekend.
We may check the drive-through thing on Vancouver.
There's 2 events that we have on the list that are in Vancouver.
I'll go check it out on their website.
One is called Booville, and I forget what the other one is. But right on our homepage it should be. So you guys stay safe. Have fun.
Happy Halloween.
And change those clocks back Saturday night. We will see you back here on Monday.